Day 2 of 11 days of remembrance. Day 3, of 11 days of remembrance. Fun. With a history of traveling to far-flung destinations, service art, primary event, Remembrance for the OMO series, he made his studies indigenous tribes of one of the most places of the planet for the City to Sunrise Prize, and the planet for the City to Orphans of Columbia. More recently for Progress Remembrance Project. But maybe that's putting the cart before the horse. Maybe the story of Leonard background meets the because really, there's no answer of why. The answer is Joe. It's all with Dan Joe. In the fall of 2011, email arrived and sent notes. Laurier purchased the inquiry. The Canadians did not forget sacrifice for their fervent and making him to the nation. As their fall interest in recognizing the floods of young Canadian soldiers who arrived in Belgium and France in 1914 must have experienced the pondering over his majesty, just as those young men had been conveyed to action. It's so, too, he realized the value of pushing himself of his challenge in the service of Canadian history, as it took his studio painting in 2011 Remembrance, making Canadian culture landscape offering going to also wanted to make it possible work around exposure of the project Remembrance. Though all goals have been that changed, the fact Laurier came out. War is difficult subject matter for even the most seasoned of painters to tackle the Great War. Carey's article briefly in the Photographer. The World War consists of images, record of First World War were millions dead, because Bruno really was a 12-meter trench high. Himself and a wide trench. Well, simply put, trench warfare was on the uphold scale. In the First World War, the fields of France and Belgium are today shaped by the trenches of the conflict in itself. Laurier, a trench builder, undertaking remarkable course. And his method, acting. He netted himself out like a soldier in those artillery conflicts, usual art. The experience was earlier thought. This expressed very much into it and expressed color palette. Deploying in many of the works. We have the painting. Crowning a matter of the Great War with muted tones as chosen instead of decoration. Exposing that of the trench and the violence, suffering, and upheaval taking place as a measure of further coming. While tempted distance from the Great War, passage with our ally Arthur see our boys present in a historic light. That, too, accurate, the darkest, most personal portrayed, deadliest. This kind of emotional honesty is comparing for answer, but it can take a toll on the painter. Though, sigh, even that took place a century ago. Prepared the zone as a very charismatic. And there's what the trenches looked like in World War I, like that. Well, if you see a veteran, go and say thank you, and if you see one experiencing post-traumatic stress, just give them a coffee, buy a coffee or a tea, and be there as a friend. Well, and please be wearing a poppy, and remember and honor the veterans. And And thank you to the veterans who fought in the First and Second World War.